Hey everybody, this is Julius of the Goat Movement Podcast. I'm here to reintroduce a series of videos, a weekly series of videos that were on our old channel. These are the What If discussions, where we discuss different points in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and drastically change them, seeing how the universe as a whole would be affected. These videos started back in 2019 in anticipation for the What If series now on Disney+. I'm joined by a variety of different guests where we talk about these different instances and scenarios. We're going to release them weekly like we did beforehand, and we hope you enjoy them. Obviously, a lot of these discussions became episodes, so it's going to be fun to compare and contrast then to what we have now. Enjoy the content, the conversation. Have a good one, stay safe, and goodbye. What's happening, everybody? My name is Julius.
And I'm Daniel.
Daniel, it's time to talk about Marvel once again. What If? They're doing that What If show, but we beat them to it.
Yeah.
And now we're going to be talking about what if Kilmonger beat Black Panther in his film.
Wow. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I like these what ifs because when I was a kid, I used to like reading the what ifs and seeing like what if. I mean, if you think about it, Deadpool kills the entire Marvel universe.
That's a what if.
Which is a nod to Punisher kills the entire Marvel universe. These are all both what ifs. And now I think nowadays, now they don't, like in the last like 10-20 years or the new era of comics, they don't call them what ifs. They just make a whole different Earth. So like zombies now is not a what if. It's just a different Earth. You know what I mean?
Alternate dimensions.
Alternate dimensions. So now they do that, But before it was the Watcher, and you'd see all these. He'd be on the cover, and you'd see all these like what if, like what if Conan and Thor fought or something, like weird stuff. Like what if all these weird things going on. And so I really appreciate it with the series that was coming out when they announced, oh man, what if? I'm like, oh, I kind of like this. Let's see what kind of what ifs we get. I don't know if it's gonna be in the same vein of the comics, and very similar, where they just do a random like Twilight Zone type of episode, and just say, okay, what if Cap was a girl, and boom, just like that, just something simple, but they just do it different, something like that. That's really cool. So I really like that we're doing these what if series. It's really cool.
Well, there's so many key elements in the MCU to just turn right instead of left.
Right.
And this one in particular about Killmonger is such a this one really does change the world, I think, of the MCU. Right. I think it really does affect it, because the thing about Killmonger, what made him such a threat, was that he was trying to start a race war. He wanted to take Wakanda up to the top. He wanted to kill white people,
right? And
he wanted to, just rule everything with Wakandan power,
resources and power,
and that is a threat.
Yeah, of course. And the thing is, he is one of the best villains because he's a villain,
right?
But he's just a good villain. What makes a good villain is somebody that has kind of what he believes a righteous cause, and kind of makes you think, oh, maybe his cause is, maybe, I understand it. I can't get behind race war on Earth. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Children will die. Like, I'm not, no. I'm not, as mad as I am, or whatever, I'm not going to condone like a world war, no matter what it is. I'm just not, unless it's against aliens. You know what I mean? But this is just crazy. And even then, like, I'd hope if unless they're fighting us,
you'd prefer ET over Independence Day?
come on, any day. Why wouldn't anybody? Yeah. So this dude's trying to start a race war globally, not locally, not nationally, but globally. He's trying to get everyone involved and put the world in a state of extreme violence. Not like, hey, you're meeting one-on-one, squaring up with people. This is extreme war. Like, people need to understand this dude's a villain. He's not an anti-hero. You know what I mean? You can understand his cause, but he's still a villain. Like, what he's doing is freaking nuts. Like, that's crazy. You can't, you know what I mean? Let's talk about it. Like, you know what I mean? This. How can you not think he's a villain? It's insane. Because I heard some people saying like, oh, he's an anti-hero. No, the Punisher. Okay, so the Punisher is an anti-hero because he defeats and kills villains in not a righteous way, like in a moral way. Not, I mean, I don't even know how to argue.
He's not going after the innocent.
The innocent. There we go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
A race war would affect children, would affect innocence. Right. So making him now a villain, you're affecting innocence. An anti-hero is someone who only affects villains, I guess, in a bad way. And you know what I'm saying?
Well, the Punisher goes up against the establishment, the system.
Right.
You know, whereas Killmonger's talking about, he's targeting everyone who does not look like him. You know.
Right,
but that's what he said.
But yeah, and it's true, it's true. I agree with that. The thing is, the other reason that it makes he makes for a good villain is that he's using an ideology, and so man, like you can see people getting behind it. I mean, the fact that he's a villain, and we saw the movie, and these are normal, smart people that are like, oh, he's an anti-hero. Like, dang, that means he was a freaking good villain.
Yeah.
If I'm watching the movie, I'm not dumb. I know what a villain is, and if Killmonger ran for president, then I wouldn't vote for him. You know what I mean? I don't see him as any type of hero, not anti-hero, not hero. He's a villain, okay? And so, but the fact that I heard people saying he's an anti-hero after the movie,
I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah,
I can get behind it to a certain extent. You know, there are compelling aspects of what he's saying, right? But it's the means in which he's acting.
Exactly, and who he's affecting. If he actually cared,
right?
You know what I mean? Like the people that you're actually trying to so-called like protect and bring upon this like peaceful and righteous and fair world for those people that you supposedly care about are going to die in this way that you're trying to achieve this goal. So no, you don't care. You know what I mean?
You care, he cares, but you don't care about the right thing.
No,
right
exactly.
Now,
Exactly.
You know?
You're letting an emotion take your anger kind of rule you and the way that you govern. And so he had the chance to be this fierce and crazy and righteous leader and fight against oppression, sure, maybe, you know, kind of support and economically support you know, African nations or you know, any type of lower oppressed nation, go in and stop them. He had a chance to be the real and awesome Black Panther, I feel like, because I feel like he was so passionate about his beliefs.
He's definitely way more passionate than T'Challa.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he was wrong. He was wrong, and how passionate that the dude got. Yeah. Oh man, imagine if he was in the right. He was in the right, and Killmonger beat Black Panther, which is what we're talking about. Yeah. Oh man, the ruthless Black Panther that we would have gotten, it would have been sick. See, that would have been a Punisher, but on an Avengers type scale. Like that would have been he could have easily been a Punisher, but like an Avengers, a ruler type power, like not on the TV lower tier scale, you know, on the big scale with the big guns, and been the same type of attitude, like I'm going after people that oppress, but we're gonna kill them, like I'm not, and it's gonna be violent and it's gonna be gruesome and bad because I'm kind of a villain at heart, you know what I mean?
He's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy, and so that would be sick. That would be sick. I don't think Bucky would win.
Well, let's get into that. So let's say that he does beat Black Panther at the very end. Those, you know, the Gorilla Nation, or what were they called? The M'Baku's.
Yeah, those guys. The Gorilla Tribe.
The Gorilla Tribe. They get messed up.
Yeah.
Dora Milaje, they're just working for him now.
Right.
And he has the thing about this scenario that makes it so threatening is that he has expert strategy skills and he's equipped with Wakandan technology.
Right.
So that's already terrifying. Exactly. So he's going to have to deal with the Avengers at some point.
Right.
And that's a crazy fight because we got someone like Cap going against this guy Killmonger.
Right.
Who even takes that fight? I mean, I think it's Cap.
Yeah, of course.
But the thing is,
in a what if or whatever.
Yeah,
Cap takes that.
But Killmonger's gonna know that. Yeah. So he's gonna have to strategize his way around that fight. You know,
it doesn't matter.
He's gonna have to outthink the Avengers at certain cases.
Wakandan can't outthink an American. Is just not gonna happen. It just can't happen.
It's not gonna happen, bro.
It's not gonna happen.
Even if he has the Black Panther power in him. You don't think he's a threat at all?
I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm not allowed to say that Cap will lose in any
Take away your
violence.
Green card.
So
it's time to send you back.
I'm just saying this now. You know.
Oh God.
Cap wins in any situation.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Jesus. That would be really tough. I feel like he could potentially be an Avengers villain. You know, like not just a Cap villain.
Yeah.
because of what we know about vibranium and the Wakandan force, went up against Thanos and his army.
Yeah.
And they stood a fight, you know what I mean? So if that can happen, imagine that would be a sick fight.
Killmonger would be probably on the front lines waiting for Thanos.
Oh yeah.
Like his kingdom's ready.
Oh man.
Because it's even better organized than ever before.
Right. It's all military focused.
It's ruthless.
Yeah, it's ruthless.
This is a fool who's just as ruthless as Thanos.
Oh my goodness.
He's ready to go down. He would go up to him.
Right.
Killmonger, even if he'd lose.
It'd be like a Cap Thanos situation.
It would be.
It'd be like that.
It would be.
So I think it would be sick if he actually beat T'Challa. Because like I said, I got behind Killmonger's attitude towards things. I wish he had the right thing to have that attitude towards. Does that make sense?
Well, it sounds like it's the passion you're attracted to.
Yeah.
What he's saying.
Oh man, I mean the conviction in which he was saying and doing.
It.
Yeah, I mean he had a goal and he was not letting anything or anyone or any life or any joke or anything, any wind, nothing was stopping him. He was doing it. Yeah, and that's really cool. That
conviction up against Thanos's conviction.
Well,
what the hell?
Oh, yeah, it'd be nuts. And he had the one of the sickest lines in the MCU period, in the entire saga. I feel like he had one of the like top 10 lines hands down, that's crazy at the end of the movie when he says something like, oh yeah, throw me in the ocean or something.
My ancestors knew it would be better
than
jump
than life of a slave. Exactly. Whoa man, what the heck?
Lines like that you can get why someone would be all about that character.
Oh, dude.
I understand why some people might be like, oh shit, Killmonger speaks for us. Yeah. I understand with lines like that. How can you not think that? Right. I mean, he's still killing innocent people. Yeah. He's still inciting what you're talking about, killing children.
Exactly.
In billions of children.
Billions. And in an indirect way, maybe, but no, you know what's happening. You're starting a global war, and we have the example. We have the real life example. If somebody wants to argue with me that he's an anti-hero, I'm not saying you can't get behind a villain. I'm not saying that. You can choose to side with a villain, but just because you choose to side with a villain doesn't now make him an anti-hero. No, he's villain. You're just siding with the villain.
Right.
You know what I mean? I like and love, actually, Doctor Doom. I love Doctor Doom. And I joke around and I say he's a hero and stuff like that. But the dude's a villain. Yeah. The dude's a villain.
His name's Doom.
I just like him. I like his cause and I get behind him. But no, he's a villain, And so same thing here with Killmonger. Like, he's a villain. Like, oh, you like his cause and you would fight for him and you would follow him. That's great, but it doesn't make him a hero. No. He's still a villain.
The moment he starts killing innocent people,
that's it. It's
and
over.
Will continuously do that.
Right.
Like knowing what he's doing.
No, and
he's a bad guy. He's a villain.
And we have the example of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, where one was peaceful and one wanted to do it.
He's an extremist.
An extremist, right? Use violence if you have to. But that's the thing. Yeah. We had a real life Killmonger. We had a real life. No, we need to do this with violence. That real life, not fictional. The real life Killmonger, basically Malcolm X. He says he was wrong and needs to be peaceful.
And look at what happened to him.
Exactly. So that means he was right. Because that means he was right. Usually you shut up the guy that's saying the truth. So it's like, it almost solidified the point that these guys were making, when they die.
Do you think Killmonger would get an end similar to what happened with Malcolm X? Maybe he'd eventually, after all the conquest and killing, he might think that he was wrong. Realize?
I don't think he would think he was wrong. I think he would think that he could have directed his cause better. Yeah. I don't think he would have ever full-blown think that. Yeah. After having that conviction, dude, I don't think he would ever go back and be like, no, I was completely wrong. Maybe, who the heck knows? It's a what if, right? But so you don't know. But if they went to war, if Wakanda went to war with Asgard... Oh my goodness! What? With a Loki that stayed as Odin?
Yeah.
And then going against a Killmonger that just defeated T'Challa?
Bro.
Oh my goodness. A military-minded Wakanda versus a military-minded Asgard. Holy crap. That would be freaking ridiculous.
I think freaking...
that would be insane.
Killmonger would eventually go after the Infinity Stones.
Oh, of course.
In whatever way he could.
Of course.
In whatever way he could.
Yeah, of course. I think he'd be a type of villain that would only continue to go up.
Yeah.
So So I think even his scale, like when he was talking about the global war, I thought in his head he would eventually win it and it would be peaceful with him on top. Basically, kind of like what Hitler was
Doom.
trying to do. Yeah, what Doom was trying to do. I think he had that in mind. And now, after he gains footing and maybe he loses, but still regains power in Wakanda, I feel like he would only be scheming and planning to get more powerful for the next attempt.
Galactic.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna go out
because they know. People know that aliens happen. You know.
Well, and especially Wakandan, and they have the technology to speak to them, to reach them. You know what I mean? And we know that he has the curiosity to seek out this type of power because we saw it in the movie. So in the movie, remember, he goes and he seeks out every time he needs something else. He seeks it out. He gets it. Yeah. And then he seeks out the next thing and he gets it until he becomes Black Panther. You see what I mean? And so, I think even after, if let's say he lost this global war or whatever, against whoever, but stays as Black Panther or King of Wakanda, I think eventually King of the World. I think eventually he would have been a force to be reckoned with. You know, for somebody like, an Asgardian villain or
Thanos.
Even Thanos, maybe. I mean, that's kind of a reach, but I think if anybody looking for an Infinity Stone is somebody to be reckoned with, you know what I mean?
Especially someone whose conviction matches yours.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you remember that moment in Infinity War where Doctor Strange is talking to Thanos and he says, you'll see that our will matches yours. It's like, that's a group of people whose will has to match his. Yeah, right. This is Killmonger, and his will alone matches Thanos.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite villains, hands down, ever.
Yeah, and it's played by Michael B. Jordan.
Who I didn't like for the longest time. Yeah, I did not like him until Creed. I saw Creed, and then I was like, "Wow, this movie's great."
Then Creed 2 happened.
Yeah, and then Creed 2 happened, and I mean, he's Killmonger, and he's just killing it every time he's acting. He's just killing it now. But yeah, I really like him as a villain. I think it would have been sick to keep him on the roster. And not only that, but everyone criticizes Marvel for killing their villains, and here they have a good villain and then they kill him again, But that moment where he dies is a moment that kind of saved the movie for me, because for me, because the movie for me wasn't bad. It wasn't great. And I think it was a decent enough movie. It was good, I'll say that. I just think it was kind of basic. It was kind of like we've seen this story. There was nothing that surprised me. Nothing surprised me in the entire movie. I was never like, oh, whoa. Like, I knew that was going to happen the entire time. The only thing that kind of surprised me, which I kind of was already like, oh, they're probably going to kill him. Because Marvel kills their villains, so I thought, oh, they're probably gonna kill him. But that they killed him, I was like, oh man, because he was being such a dope villain that I was like, oh, he might last past his movie. Yeah. But then they killed him, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess they did kill him like I thought. Yeah, exactly.
Would have been awesome to see him friggin' fight with Wakandans in Infinity War.
Oh man,
that would have been nuts.
Whoa, if he would have been like the human traitor, or the human that talks to Thanos and betrays them.
Him going up against a Black Order member.
Oh man, that'd be Proxima Midnight. Or that would be gnarly. But yeah, I like him. I would have liked seeing him as a villain for much longer. But
that would have been great.
But I don't know. I think it would have been sick.
I think so too, man. I think that Killmonger, the reason that he is gonna last, he's going to, be remembered in terms of the MCU, I think, as this great little gem.
Right.
The reason I think is because he does speak. So, like, he has such high aspirations, but he does speak very commonly, He is very relatable to a lot of people.
Well, I think the movie had to happen. So I think Black Panther had to happen, and it touched a lot of people because of the things that they said, even just the one-liners that they had.
Yeah.
I feel that those one-liners had to be said. They needed to be in the dialogue, even if they were quick and stuff like that. They were quick, and maybe you missed them. But the little quips, I think they had to be said. And I think what Killmonger said as a villain had to be said. Even though he was a villain, he was kind of hitting on a lot of people's emotions. And so, I didn't think the movie was that great, but I think it had to happen, and it was long overdue that we got a Black Panther movie. I think that's long overdue.
Yeah.
And but so I think we needed to see that. I'm not saying that we did not need to see it. It was just kind of like, I've seen this movie before, you know, and it's not surprising. And also, although it was cool and looked good visually, and you know, it was a lot of nods to the authentic culture and stuff like that mixed with modern stuff. It was really cool to see that.
I mean, there's some amazing things about the film.
There's some amazing things, definitely. But I just thought it was like whatever. I mean, it wasn't the best MCU film that I thought. The greatest takeaway from it was Killmonger. I mean, even the fight scenes with Black Panther and Killmonger, I didn't think were that great. You know
compared
what I
to
mean?
what the director did with Creed in Creed, you know, the first film, where it's just you're so invested, you're in the fight, you know, and the camera's moving very differently than modern action films. You know, it's filmed way better. And then we get to this where they tried to do elements like that, but there was just a lot of CG. There was a lot of, it just didn't work.
It didn't work. It was kind of like, I think maybe it might have hurt it that it was Black Panther, because as Black Panther, I'm expecting the best fights I've ever seen, you know, and so then I go and I see kind of like a mediocre fight at best when it's supposed to be the final fight. I actually thought there was going to be another fight, because I was like, oh shoot, like I was kind of looking at my clock already, like, oh man, it's kind of the end of the movie. And then by the way and the tone that the last fight was going, I was like, is this the last fight? I mean, is this gonna be the finale, really? And so I was like, no, it can't be. There's probably like 5-10 minutes left. No, it ends. And I was like, oh, that was the final fight. All right, okay, all right, that's cool.
What I've noticed about the movie is that those fight scenes, they lead more to moments that are not about the fight.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So
that's what I'm trying to say.
They're there because a fight needs to happen.
Yes, right.
But,
for the line to be delivered.
Right. And we get those those moments that are even better than the fight.
Right.
Like when Killmonger sees the sunset.
Yeah. Oh,
or
my goodness.
T'Challa gets thrown off the waterfall.
Yeah.
You know.
They're moments.
What the hell?
Yeah, they're moments. And the fights aren't that good. I mean, even the waterfall fight. You know, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's all right. It's not shitty. I'm not saying they're crappy. So whatever, you know, people
but for
saying
Black Panther,
in the comments,
we need
the best. Like, come on.
Like the best at the time.
Best. Yeah, come on. What? You know, I don't know. I'm not saying it's a bad movie at all. I thought it was decent. Is a decent film. I just and it needed to happen, and we need more Black Panther films. I'm sitting here saying that.
Shit, we're gonna, and we're gonna get them.
You know, but I still am a Blade 2 over Black Panther.
Oh well, then you're gonna be a real happy guy soon when they get some Blade up in there.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be so happy. Yeah, I know. Bring back Wesley Snipes, but they're doing
Marshall.
Ali. That's gonna be sick too. I mean, I can see that.
Gonna be sick.
That's gonna be so sick. Oh, dude, can't wait.
And it's gonna be a movie.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be a show. It's gonna be a freaking movie.
It's gonna be ridiculous, kind of. It is. It's gonna be kind of nuts.
We're probably gonna see him fight.
I think so.
Black Panther.
Oh man, that's gonna be crazy. Who are they gonna bring in for that? I mean, I know we're getting off track, but Morbius, actual Dracula.
Probably.
Man, actual Dracula.
But you know what? Put something else against Blade. Put something. It doesn't have to be a vampire. Like kind of the Shang-Chi thing.
Yeah.
You don't need a vampire versus another vampire. Get vampire versus
nightmare.
Like a nightmare. Yeah. Or a sorcerer even.
Yeah, Mephisto. Or, you know, something devilish like that. Using vampires as like henchmen or something like that. You know.
Hell yeah.
That'd be sick.
Blade. Okay, everybody. Well. That was a Killmonger podcast right there. What if it was exciting? And I think that, if they do a what if, I mean, they're doing the what if show.
Right.
I hope they take this as an inspiration. You know? They do this as an episode.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I used to really I have a long box full of what if comics, you know, and it's and I try to get those because it's always fun to see like different alternate versions of what could be. I mean, Ultimates is some of the best stuff we've ever seen, and I know that's not a what if, it's an alternate universe.
It's basically
it's the same. It's the same thing.
It's just a long running.
Yeah, it's a long running what if. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I love those. I love those, and I definitely prefer 626. And people will fight me on that all the time. You know, they'll say Ultimates is the best. You know, and arguably does have a lot of good freaking runs that you need to read. You know, Ultimates, you need to.
I just caught up.
Good. It's amazing, right? I mean, it's amazing stuff, and I like 626 because it's
616.
616. Sorry, because it's what it is, the 616. But Ultimates is crazy. It has
Ultimates
some stuff.
is just like
you can't
super
miss
grounded.
It. Yeah,
it's like that. The Boys show that came out.
Oh, it's very similar to that. It's very similar to that.
Have you watched that?
Not yet. No.
Yeah, I'm planning on watching it.
Oh, we could watch it, review it or something.
It looks dope.
Yeah, it does look dope.
But I mean, it looks similar to what the Ultimates does.
Yeah,
you know,
it's very similar.
You know, grounded. Yeah, really mature.
Yeah.
Maybe not to the extent of the Boys.
Yeah,
but,
right,
you know,
right. But similar.
Yeah, they get real. They get real shit in there.
And that's what I'm saying, and we're gonna get Uatu and all this stuff. This is gonna be sick. Uatu's a long time coming, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
you know the actor they got for him.
Yeah,
Jeffrey Wright.
Oh man, he's good, and he's good. He's good. He's an Uatu.
He looks like Uatu.
Yeah, he looks like he can have that presence, hands down.
That voice
already.
Alone.
The voice alone.
They're gonna get
the voice.
That voice in the show.
Yeah.
Bring that actor in the films itself.
Oh my goodness! Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Why not? He should be everywhere. After they introduce Uatu, he should be in every after credit scene. Yeah, you know
ready,
what I mean?
Son. I'm ready.
Yeah, it'd be sick. But yeah.
All right, guys, let's end it. I'm Julius.
I'm Daniel.
It's been 3 years of the GOAT podcast. Please subscribe. We'll get to 3,000 subscribers because of you. Maybe we're already there. I am so excited. And stay tuned for the next What If. Goodbye.
Peace.
The GOAT podcast is proof you don't have to look any further for movie news, reviews, trailer reactions, or special discussions. Subscribe, get notified about what's going on, and I promise you'll be entertained by our daily content on YouTube. If you want more, we're on Twitter at GOAT Film Podcast, Instagram The GOAT Podcast, and the GOAT Movie Group on Facebook. Get connected with us, see what's happening, and make sure to love it while you're doing so.